What's up, tubers? Teal here, Simplistic Fishing, back at you tonight to finish up our final lake breakdown for Cedar Creek Reservoir. That's right, I believe we're in like 7 videos now for this lake. All kinds of good stuff. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed it. If not, just go out, look at our lake breakdown playlist. We have hundreds of videos out there of all of this lake plus several other lakes that are out there. So just go check it out. Lots of breakdowns, lots of good information. Let's go ahead and jump into this one tonight and finish it off. Cedar Creek Reservoir, the final offshore hotspots video. Bye. Let's go ahead and jump into this thing, and hopefully we can finish off Cedar Creek Reservoir today. If you missed the last video, what we're using here is the Navionics boating app to pull up the contours and really figure out what type of the offshore spots we can find based on the contours that we're seeing on the maps. Now, ignore the different colors that we have here. Had a little bit of an issue with my my markers, but I think we'll make it through it. So last time when we were here, we actually went all the way over on this side. We covered all this whole area, and we stopped right up here, right where this marker is, right here at Twin Creek. So what we're going to do is we're just going to work our way into Twin Creek, all the way up Twin Creek and back down, and then up to the north side, and hopefully back down the west side as well. We'll see what we can cover today. So let's go ahead and pull in here. The first thing I want to show you guys in Twin Creek is going to be right over here. A nice little pond dam sets up right here in this little area. So go out there and check that out. As I mentioned before, those are really good summertime spots. And then, of course, you can never go wrong coming up and fishing around the bridges. You want to definitely take a look at this spot right here around the bridge. And mainly what you're doing is there's an underwater point that comes out underneath that bridge. And you really want to focus out on the edge of that. And then while you're there, also scoot over and check out this pond that's over here as well. And if you looked really closely, I don't know if you saw it, but it says there's a roadbed here as well. And I didn't see that the first time, but you could go check out this roadbed too while you were checking out the underwater point that's there. And then, of course, when you're fishing this bridge, some of the best places to fish when you're fishing those bridges is going to be anywhere around where that creek channel gets really close to it. So in that area right in there, obviously, it's going to be a good spot as well. So now we're going to move up there. I don't think I had anything north of that bridge. We'll come back down to the bridge. This is the same thing that we saw on the other side. It's the underwater point that comes out. This one's got creek channels on both sides of it, plus it meets the major creek channel here. So really good looking spot to set up on right there. Real easy to fish as well. So let's keep moving on down. Let's talk about a couple more spots I found here from an offshore perspective. Now, there's a lot of marking stuff out here. So I don't know if these are brush piles or what they are. You know, some of them reference catfish. Other ones don't even really say anything. But if you look right here, these are definitely, there's a fishing facility that's right here. You can see that I've marked it for you guys so you can check it out. Now, that's probably going to be more for the crappie guys. But if there's crappie there, there's going to be bass there. So you definitely want to go look at that. And then moving down here, I skipped over a couple of those other spots. I just really didn't see anything there that would make me want to mark it. But right here, there's also some cedar and willow brush that has been buried here. It said that he had buried it. Let me see what it says. It says constructed in 2015, and you can see what he's added here. He's only fished it a few times since 2016. It's produced small crappie, but if there's crappie there again, there's going to be bass there. So definitely go look at that spot right in there. That just looks like a good one. So I'm going to move around. We're going to come off this point. I didn't put a marker here, but you would think that this would be a pretty good little spot right in here, just because of the way that everything sets up. There's probably some brush piles or something out in this area right off the edge of this point. So look right in here. I didn't put a marker there, but look right in there and just see if you can find anything in that area. That's pretty much a primo area for somebody to put some underwater stuff that we wouldn't be able to see from a mapping standpoint, but it would be a good spot to put from a fishing standpoint. All right, so let's move back out here. We get out here, there's a nice little ledge that's right here, and someone said there's a good brush pile right in here too. So look in here. I don't know for sure if there's a brush pile there, but what I can confirm here is that there's some really good structure going on, some real good contour lines and things like that to fish around. Then as we move up, I didn't see anything back in the back of that one. We're starting to get into a lot shallower water now, so we'll have to be kind of picky on what we pick. But this one right here looks good as well. This is a nice little offshore hump that's out here in about 10 foot of water. I think I mentioned to you guys in the last video, but I've fished Cedar Creek quite a few times, and I really spend a lot of time down around the log cabin area. That seems to be where I do best. I've never had a lot of luck, especially once I get past this bridge. Every time I go, it seems like it's super washed out and super muddy. But I think it's definitely worth going up here and exploring because it looks like there's a lot of good stuff up here. So let's move off of that point and let's go a little bit further up. And out here, you've got some really good looking stuff too. Look at this little hump that's out here. It's at about 17 foot of water, has a really good break over here. The creek bed's way over here, or riverbed, creek bed, whatever you want to call it. But we also have a creek bed that's right over here too. So I think just all around that hump's going to be good, but probably more on this side. But still, they could get up here and be feeding and just hanging out. There's no telling. Someone could have put something there as well. So I would go and do some exploring there. And then when you're there, you just come over to the edge where this underwater point is, and you kind of got the same thing. You got the point coming out with nice flat top, and then it just breaks off right down by that creek channel. So this area in here, also where you see that roadbed, kind of follow that roadbed too around and see if you can find anything up there. But real good flat up here, and then a real good break right here, right off the tip of it, that takes you right into that creek channel. I'm gonna move up here. There's a couple more spots out here in the middle that I want to show you guys. You got to kind of dig in here to see them, but you'll notice this one right here. The reason why I marked this one is because you have this giant hump that's out here, about 16 foot of water. But if you get off the edge of it, right where this creek channel bend is, or river channel bend, that's where I think would be more of the prime spot to find something out there. Now, I don't feel that great about that spot, so don't spend too much time out there messing around with that one. I feel better about this one just because the way that it sets up. This is another one of those underwater humps. It comes up about 5 foot from the bottom. Looks like the deepest spot's about 24 foot. So you're only coming up about 5 foot, but pretty good little hump here. And it's right by a creek channel, or a creek channel bend. So looking pretty good there. Then we're going to come up and look at the backside of this island. Now there's all kinds of fishing marks around this island. There's one here, there's one here, there's one here. So maybe just fish the entire island. But when I came out here off the island, if I'm really looking for a specific spot that I'm going to fish, I really like this where it comes off and kind of makes an underwater point down here. I'd probably be exploring a lot out in here, especially as I get closer to that creek bed. Go a little bit further down, like right around in here. That could be really good as well. Man, all kinds of, look at these really good channel bends right here. I mean, creek bends. Oof, that thing looks good. All right, let's move up. Let's see if I marked anything else up here. I don't know if I had too much up here from an offshore standpoint. I talked about this to you guys, I think, on the Google Earth side, but there's some brush piles here, and this is always a good little bridge to fish around. I've had some success around in that area too. I don't know if we had anything else marked north because it gets so shallow. So now we're going to start working our way back down the south or the west side and headed south. Now in here, I've marked both of these, but these say that there's brush piles on both of those pillars. So check out both those pillars for sure. Maybe you'll find those brush piles that'll help you guys out. And then we're going to move down quite a ways. I don't want to lose you guys, but I don't want to take up too much time. But come off the north side of the lake. We've came down now past the dam, and we're kind of in where these little pockets are right in here. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to zoom in. And I like these two spots. One, there's a break wall right here. You can actually see it on Google Earth, the break wall that comes out. So fishing the break walls are always fun. But look where that thing's setting at. It's got a super cool point that comes off there. I mean, that's just the juiciest looking point you can think of. And it's got a creek bed that comes right off through the front of it. So fishing right in there and fishing around that break wall, I think is going to give you guys some success. And then if we move down here a little bit further, get past this whole, what is this, Lone Star Marina? We get past down south of Lone Star Marina. Just come out here. I don't feel 100% confident about this little spot here, but sometimes I go to spots like this and I don't think they're going to be anything, and they end up being the most magical spot I can find. But there's a creek bed that comes right down through here. And if you look really closely, you've got this nice little underwater point that's coming out right here. So you got a point here and a point here and the creek bed here. So you got a nice little kind of little pinch point going on right here in this area. I'm going to zoom back out, and we're going to go back out, come down off this point, this main lake point. Man, if that creek channel would just get a little bit closer, it'd probably be a really good spot to go look at. But maybe, checking out around in here, it looks like it's going to be pretty deep up there. Let's go on down. Let's pass that pocket, and now we're getting down here closer towards the dam, or I guess we call it the dam. I guess the other thing was the dam too. I guess there's just two dams. So, anyways, as we go down here, the thing I like about this is this nice little point that comes off. It's got a nice little tabletop on it, and it kind of breaks off right here. Someone's put a marker there, but I'm imagining their marker was probably more up in here. They just kind of missed it. But also some pretty good stuff, right around the riprap and stuff when you get down it. Well, actually, it's not in there. It's the wrong place. I took you to the wrong place. It's going to take you right in here. There's some good riprap that's back in here too that you can fish. I don't have it marked, but you can definitely check it out. It's a pretty good little spot there. Got like a little 5-pounder right there in that little area. So it's pretty nice. All right, and then the other spot that's down here is right here. That's that spot we just talked about. And of course, I didn't tell you, I didn't mark that spot right here, but go look at that spot right in there. That one looks pretty good. All right, so we're going to move on over, and we're going to come down here, and we're going to go to the first pocket south of that dam. So first pocket south of the dam. We're going to come back in here, and you'll notice there's a road bed back here. It goes straight through the back of this pocket, almost perfect. So I'd scan around this thing because this would be a perfect spot for the fish to set up and stage in, right? So let's say they're out here chilling out in summer and winter. And then as spring comes, they start to come in, maybe set up on some of these docks and things like that. And then as they come back here, they're like, oh, that's a juicy spot. Look at that juicy spot, that nice little road bed right there that we can hang out on for a couple of weeks and feed up. And so I would definitely be looking in those spots. That looks like it could be a pretty good area if that road bed is there. Hopefully that road bed is there. Now we're going to come off. We're going to get down here, kind of skip those two little areas here. I didn't see anything too crazy there to mark for you guys, but I did like this. I mean, look at this giant point that comes off, big old flat, creek channels and all kinds of stuff going all by it. I mean, this is going to be good. That looks like a really good feeding place for the fish. And obviously someone's already got a mark there too. So that just kind of verifies that it's going to be a good spot. Now we're going to come off of here. And as we come down in here, this is that whole interesting area we were at. Kind of like this was. This is kind of the same thing. It's shallow out pretty far. So there's some interesting stuff out here. But if you follow this creek bed back, you'll see that there's two really good spots right here. They've got to produce some fish just based on the way that creek bed flows in there. So that creek bed's flowing just like this, and these are the little points that stick off of them. One right there, one right there. I'm going to move down. Those little red spots, I believe, yeah, those are humps and stuff like that people have put out there, but I don't know. I didn't feel confident enough to put those in there for you guys, so I left them out. So we're going to come down. We're going to get down into this. Let me show you guys again where I'm at. So we came down from that dam. Now we're flying. We're going to come way down here. And we're going to start messing around kind of with these little points that come out here. Now, there could be some stuff out here, definitely. I mean, if you look around, there's some high spots there. There's a high spot over here with something going on. There's a nice flat point that comes over here. There's a lot of good stuff right around in that area. So you can go check it out. But let's go and let's look at this one right here. Number 5, Mr. Crappie House. So obviously a good crappie hole, but I like how this point comes all the way out. This is the farthest one out, and it's got some really good contours going around it. So that is why I picked that one. But man, really, you could pick so much here. There's so many different things you could go look at, like right in here. You go out here and look at the side of this, see if they're setting up here. You go up here and look at this road bed, see if there's anything hanging around there. I mean, there's 1,000 different places they can be right here in that area. So that's going to be tough to locate them there, but I guarantee they're there. It's just where. And then I didn't miss this one earlier, so I want to take you guys back to it. There's a pond dam going on right in here. You can see right where I put that point at. So I'd say go back to that pocket and pretty much stop right at the buoy or really close to the buoy and start scanning around and see if you can find the pond dam. If there is, it looks like it's right in here, and that could be a really good spot to fish around as well. All right, so we talked about those offshore spots. Let's go on down. We're going to go down to these last couple little pockets here. I like these areas. I told you I fish a lot in log cabin, but I fished over here a lot as well. I like these little pockets. I don't know why, but I just like them. They treat me well. So we're going to go in here, And we're going to look at this thing now from a contour perspective. This has got it going on. It's got a lot of good stuff in this pocket, right? But just a couple different things to look at. Actually, there's several different things I'd tell you to look at here, but a couple spots that I really like. I like this spot right here. I don't know why, but this spot right here has a really nice drop going on right there. Done well right there off that spot right in there. And this point that comes out that you see right here, it's juicy, and it's got some flooded timber and stuff like that to fish around, and some debris. I think we even marked on the Google Earth side some debris in there. And then look at these creek channels. I mean, really good swing right here. As you move further back into the cove, I zoom back a little bit. You'll see that there's a little thing up here that says that this is a good spawning area and things like that. So that's, I mean, that's pre-spawn 101. That's, you know, they're going to be right around here in this area. And I think that's why I do so well in here, because when we have came, it's been more pre-spawn time, and we've been able to locate them pretty well right in here. And then again, right in here, you know, and also looking right up in here, get off the edge of these points and look around that creek channel, stay around the creek channel, and you'll have a lot more success. All right. So I'm going to move on down. We're going to come into this last little, I guess, is it the last pocket? Yeah, it's the last big pocket, I guess, to go into before you get down by the dam. Right here, right off the edge right here, you're going to see this little red dot. That shows that there's rocks there, and you've got a pretty good contour going on right there too, right? Really sharp break. So I went ahead and marked that one for you as well. As you're back there, you may want to come up over here and just look at this. Is that really that sharp of a break? I mean, it's almost like a ledge that's happening right in there, right by that creek bed. So maybe just check it out. I don't know if anything's there. I didn't mark it, but when I zoomed in and I saw that, I was like, dang, that's a really sharp drop right there, especially for Cedar Creek. And that is going to be it as far as those pockets. Let's get down here and finish this video off. The last thing, couple last things I want to show you when we get down in here. There's a lot of juicy stuff down here. One, you've got this little hump out here. I didn't mark it, but go out and scan that hump, especially if you're over here fishing anyways. I liked these next two areas that we're going to show right in here. You've got a road bed that's right here, and then right off the road bed, it just plummets. Like, it's a very sharp drop. So maybe fishing right around in here. So check out the hump, you know, come over here, scan around in here and see if you can find anything in here. If I back this back out, you're going to see that that ledge is right off, if I can get this in the right thing, is right off the edge of a little big old flat that's not little, but big old flat that's out here, and a little underwater point. So right in there, and then move over and come over here, and now you see you got a couple different things you got going on over here. Again, same type thing. You've got a point that comes out underneath here, and then a really sharp break again right by that road bed. So just follow the road bed down and see if you can see anything in here. You've also got a pond that's in here, and then if you look really closely over here, you've got the highest point, and that's going to be at 9 foot. A little hump that's right there. So 9 foot all the way down to 28 foot out here. So pretty drastic change going on right in here. Plus you have a road bed. So look in there. That's going to be high percentage spot. And then over here, it just says that there's these production and storage facilities. I don't know what those are. On Hubbard, people have put those out there as well, and they're giant like gravel pits. So they haven't really been productive for me on bass fishing on Hubbard, but they have been really good for for the hybrids. But I don't know what those are. I didn't mark them for you on the card, but if you're out here scanning, maybe go check those out and just see what those are. Now, as we move over here, this is going to be the last 3 spots I want to talk to you about. All like really good, like little humps and stuff out here. I mean, look at all these road beds that are out here. You've got culverts that are out here. But if you pay close attention, you can tell like this is the end of the point. It's at 10 foot. That's going to be a good spot. Right here, you know, this whole thing comes up to its highest spot right here at 8 foot. So that's going to be good. And you got a road bed there. And then if you scroll down here and look at this side again, it's coming out, kind of has a little saddle right there, and then it comes back up to a hump before it drops off again, and it's got a road bed right on the top of it. So all good spots. Looks like you could have a Carolina rig fun day just out here hitting up some of those offshore spots and seeing what you can find down there. So that wraps us up for Cedar Creek Reservoir. I appreciate all of you guys that have sat through all these videos with us to go over all these waypoints. Please make sure to go out to simplisticfishing.com and pick up your waypoints today. We can take everything we talked about today, plus all the Google Earth waypoints that we have. We put them all into a card for you. You put that card into your graph, and you will have all these show up as waypoints on your mapping, which is awesome because if you want to pattern fish, this is the best way to pattern fish. So anyways, guys, go check it out, simplisticfishing.com. And until next time, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.